Dear students, I welcome you all to this problem solution series in digital electronics. I am solving the problems from the book Digital Design by Maurice Mano and Michael Sileti. So in this video, I am solving the problem number 6.17 from the chapter number 6. The problem is design a 4-bit binary synchronous counter with D flip-flops. Here we have to keep in mind that we have to design a 4-bit binary synchronous counter, and synchronous counter means we have to give the clock simultaneously to all the flip-flops. So we have to design a counter with D flip-flops. So first of all, we have to understand a 4-bit binary synchronous counter. So a counter is a logic circuit that will count the number of input pulses arriving at the input. Okay. So first of all, let us see the state diagram of this 4-bit synchronous counter. So a counter counts the number of pulses. So the state diagram will be such that it will increment by 1, or the output number will be incremented by 1 with the arrival of each pulses at the input, and the input will apply at the clock input. So if we have 0 0 0 0, then it should go to the next state. So it will be 0 0 0 1. What will be the next state? It should be 0 0 1 0. Then we have to go to 3. Okay, so next state will be 0 0 1 1. The next state will be 0 1 0 0. You have to increment by 1 in this way. Okay, so let me draw it quickly. So this 4-bit counter will start from, suppose, 0 0 0 0, then it will go to 0 0 0 1, it will go to 0 0 1 0, that means 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, okay, 12 13 14 15, and after 15 it should go to 0 0 0 0. Okay, so this is the state diagram of this 4-bit counter. And before designing this circuit, we have to understand the excitation table of this D flip-flop. Excitation table of D flip-flop. Suppose Q is the present state and Q of n plus 1 is the next state. Then what will be the D input? We have to find out. 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, so we have to find out, for getting this next state 0 from the present state 0, what will be the D input. So we know that in case of D flip-flop, the output is same as the input. That means to get 0 at the next state, we have to apply D input is equal to 0. To get this next state equal to 1, we have to apply D input is equal to 1. So to get the next state equal to 0, we have to apply this equal to 0, D equal to 0. And to get 1 again, we have to apply D equal to 1. Okay, so this is the excitation table of D flip-flop. Now we will make the excitation table for 4-bit counter using D flip-flop. Okay, here also we will have the present state, then we have here next state, okay, and here we will have the flip-flop inputs. So present state, suppose Q3, Q2, Q1, Q0. Okay, and next state are Q3 of T plus 1, okay, Q2 of T plus 1. So these are the next state. I am denoting with T plus 1. Okay, Q1 of T plus 1 and Q0 of T plus 1. And the flip-flop inputs for the 4-bit counter, there will have 4 flip-flops. Okay, so D3, D2, D1, D0. So because it is a synchronous counter, we have to apply the 4 clock pulses simultaneously. So for 4-bit counter, we have this present state. So here for 4 bits, we will have 16 combinations. So let me write down quickly. So we have these 16 combinations. From this present state, the counter should go to next state, that is incremented by 1. That means whenever we have 0 0 0 0, that means it is a decimal 0. Okay, so it should go to 1 now. So the binary equivalent of 1 will be 0 0 0 1. So this is 1 now, present state. So for this present state, the next state will be 2. Okay, so 2 means 0, 0, 1, 0. That means you have to increment by 1 because it is a counter. With the arrival of the input pulse, it will increment by 1. If this is the present state, it should be the 1 incremented 1 the next state. So if we have 0, 0, 1, 0, it will be 0, 0, 1, 1. And similarly, you have to make this table. And after 1 1 1 1, so from this state it should go to 0 0 0 0. Okay, because we have seen that in the state diagram after 1 1 1 1 it is going again to 0 0 0 0. So we have got the present state and this next state. Next state is nothing but the incremented by 1 value of this present state. Now we have to find out this D3, D2, D1 and D0 value. Okay, so for finding out for D3, D2, D1 and D0 value, we have to use this excitation table of D flip-flop. So here we have seen that this D input is nothing but it is equal to the next state output. Okay, that means for making the next state output 0, we have to apply 0 at this D input, and for making this next state output equal to 1, we have to again apply 1. Okay, that means whatever we want to get at the output, we have to apply that at the input. So we can say that this D input is equal to the Qn plus 1. That means Q of n plus 1, that is the next state, is equal to the present state. So we can say that this next state is equal to the input D. These 4 columns will be similar to these 4 columns, that is next state columns. Okay, so let me write down. So for getting this 0, we have to apply 0 here. For getting 0 again, we have to apply 0 at this D input for D3. Okay, because this Q3 of T plus 1 is the next state output of this fourth flip-flop that have D3 input. So it should, this column will be similar to this column Q3 of T plus 1. So it will be 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 1. Then we have 1 1 1 and 0. Finally we have 0. Similarly for D2, D1 and D0. So here we'll have similarly this D0 is equal to Q0 of T plus 1. Okay, so here we'll have 1 0 1 0 1 0. Okay, and here also 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. Now we will make the K map for this D3, D2, D1 and D0 separately, and we will find out the expression for D3, D2, D1 and D0. And after getting the expressions, we will make the circuit design. So now find out the K maps. Therefore, K map for D3. Now let us make a 4 variable K map for D3. So here we will have, so the inputs are Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0. We have to see the respective present states, okay, for making this K map. So 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. So now we have to put the D3 values in this K map. So D3 values are 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 7 0. Then we have 8 number of ones and then we have 0. So put 7 zeros first. 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Then we have 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 and 0. Now how we can combine? So this will be one combination, this will be another combination, so this will be the suppose another term, and this last one will be covered in this combination. So from this term what will have? Q2, Q3, Q2 bar, Q3, Q2 bar. Okay, plus, so here we can say that this is Q3, this is Q2, this is Q1 and these two columns are Q0. So suppose from this term now we'll get, so this two row is Q3, okay, and from these two column we will get Q1 bar, okay, Q1 bar, plus from now this combination, what we'll get, this is q3 q0 bar. Okay, you can see that from these two column we'll get q0 bar, and from this two row we'll get q3. Now the fourth term is, so this is q3 bar q2, q3 bar q2, and from this side we have q1 q0, q1 q0. You can directly implement this expression, but you can further simplify this expression to make the circuit simpler. So what we'll get, if we take q3 common from the first three term, what we'll get, q2 bar plus q1 bar plus q0 complement, okay, plus q3 complement whole into q2 q1 q0. We can write in this way. So this term within the bracket we can simplify it using De Morgan's theorem. We can write it as q3 whole into, this is a bar plus b bar plus c bar expression, so we can write it as abc whole bar. So q2 q1 q0 whole bar plus q3 bar q2 q1 q0. Okay, so here we can see that a b bar plus a bar b form, so we can write it as q3 XOR q2 q1 q0. That means now we have simplified this expression. So we have got the expression for d3. So d3 is this one. That means the input of this fourth flip-flop, that is d3, that will have the most significant bit. This equation will represent that input. Okay, now let us make the K-map for d2. Therefore K-map for d2. Suppose here also we'll have a 4 variable map. Okay, this is the 4 variable map. Now we have to put the values of d2 here. So for d2 we have 0 0 0, then we have 4 number of ones, 4 0, then 4 1 again, and then 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 and 0. So how we can combine? So suppose this will be one term, this will be second term, okay, and then the next term will be this one. So what we'll get, so d2 is equal to, from this term what we'll get, this is q2, okay, q2, and from this side we'll get q1 bar, q2 q1 bar, plus from this term we'll get q2, from these two column we'll get q0 bar, q0 bar, plus from this term we'll get, this is q1 q0, and from this two row we'll get q2 bar, so q2 bar q1 q0. Okay, similar to the previous case, we can simplify it as q2 whole into q1 bar plus q0 bar plus q2 bar whole into q1 q0. From the first two term we have taken q2 common. Okay, so what we'll get from this, you will get q2 whole into, using De Morgan's theorem we'll get q1 q0 whole bar plus q2 bar whole into q1 q0. Okay, so this is nothing but ab bar plus a bar b, sorry, this is q2 bar. Okay, so here we can see that this is ab bar plus a bar b form, so we can write it as q2 XOR q1 q0. Okay, so this is the expression for d2 input. Okay, so this is the second expression. Now let us find out K-map for d1. Now we have to fill up this 4 variable K-map with the values of d1. So for d1 we have this 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0. Okay, so 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 and 0. Okay, so how we can combine? So this will be one term, okay, this will be the another term. Okay, so what we'll get, d1 is equal to, so from this combination we'll get, this is q1 bar q0, q1 bar q0, plus from this term we'll get q1 q0 bar, q1 q0 bar. So this is nothing but XOR operation, a bar b plus a b bar from, so we can write it as q1 XOR q0. Now we have to find out the k-map for d0. Similarly, we'll have another 4 variable map. Now we have to put the values of d0 in this k-map. Okay, these two rows are q3, these two rows are q2, these two columns are q1, and these two columns are q0. Okay, now let us put the values of d0. d0 is 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. We have to put now 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So how we can combine? So we'll have only one term, that is one combination. So d0 is equal to, from these two columns we'll get q0 complement. Okay, so now we have got the expressions for d3, d2, d1 and d0. So from that we have to now make the circuit design. The logic circuit will have 4 D flip-flops. Here we have drawn, this is suppose first flip-flop, that is D0 is the input, Q0 is the output, this is the complemented output, and here we have this clock input. Then we have this next D flip-flop. This next D flip-flop has also D1 as input, Q1 output, and Q1 complement is the inverted output or complemented output. Okay, similarly for D2, the Q2 and Q2 complement, and here we'll have clock, and for this is the fourth flip-flop. This is suppose D3 is the input, Q3 is out normal output, and Q3 complement is the inverted or complemented output. We have to give a common clock because it is a synchronous counter. So we'll connect this clock inputs, okay, together to make this a synchronous circuit, and here we'll give the input pulse. Whenever we have a rising edge, because we have made here a positive edge trigger, we do not use here a bubble, but we can make it also negative edge trigger also. Okay, the function will be similar, the circuit design will be similar. So here if we get a positive edge, this all of this flip-flop will be activated, okay, and accordingly they will give the outputs. So here we'll have these outputs. Now we will implement all these inputs using the obtained expressions. So for D3 we have got Q3 XOR Q2 Q1 Q0. That means first of all we have to find out the AND operation between Q2 Q1 and Q0, and that output of this AND gate will be XOR with Q3. Suppose here we have this Q0. So suppose let us bring to this input side. Suppose this is Q0 line, Q0. Then we have suppose this one Q1 line. Okay, let us draw an input line here. Okay, suppose this line will represent this Q1. Okay, here we have connected this Q1, and this line will represent suppose Q1. Then we have Q2. Okay, let us draw another line from Q2, okay, towards the input. I am drawing this to make it simpler to understand for you. So this third line, this third vertical line is connected to this Q2 output. Okay, so this line will represent Q2, and here also we'll have this Q3 line. Okay, so let us bring it here. Okay, so let us draw another line and let us connect it here. So this fourth line will represent Q3. First line is Q0, second line is Q1, this third vertical line is Q2, and this fourth line is Q3. Now let us find out the inputs. So for D3 we have Q2, Q1, Q0 with multiplication, that is we have to use the AND gate now. We have an AND gate, 3 input AND gate. Okay, so the inputs will be Q2, Q1, Q0. So take a line from this Q2, this is Q1, and this is Q0. So here we have used the AND gate here. So the inputs will be Q2, Q1 and Q0. After this AND operation we have to do the XOR operation with Q3. So use a XOR gate here and give this output to this input. So here we have got Q2, Q1, Q0, and we have to XOR with Q3. This fourth line is Q3. Okay, here you can see this is Q3, this is Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0. So we have to draw a line from Q3 to the input of this XOR gate, and this output will be connected to this D3. So we have now connected this fourth flip-flop. Now let us find out this D2. So the D2 expression is this one, Q1, Q0. First of all, we have to find out this AND operation and then XOR operation with Q2. Okay, so use a AND gate, 2 input AND gate here. So here we'll have Q1, Q0. So take a line from this Q1 and take a line from this Q0. Okay, and this output is Q1, Q0. So this output is XOR operation with Q2. Okay, so you say XOR gate. So one input is this one, Q1, Q0, and the second input is Q2. So this third line is Q2. So draw a connection or draw a line from here and apply to this input. So this output of this XOR gate will be connected to this D2. Now let us find out this D1. So for D1 we have Q1 XOR Q0. So use only one XOR gate here. Okay. So the inputs will be Q1 and Q0. So this second line is Q1. Okay, this first line is Q0. So connect them, and here we'll have Q1 XOR Q0. So we have got this D1. So we have got this D1, Q1 XOR Q0, and D0 is Q0 complement. So here we have Q0 complement. So we can connect this Q0 complemented output to this D input. This is the logic circuit of a 4-bit synchronous counter. So here we'll have this Q0, this is Q1, Q2 and Q3. So this is the logic circuit of this 4-bit synchronous counter. Figure 6.17. So P, suppose problem 6.17. This is 4-bit binary synchronous counter using D flip-flops. Okay, this FF means flip-flops. Okay, so this is the logic circuit of this 4-bit binary synchronous counter using D flip-flops. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, please put it in the comment section below. Also like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.